Welcome learners in online classes of Social Science, Class 7 Geography. Myself, Sarvan Sukla, is going to focus on internal structure of the earth. Before starting the topic, please subscribe our channel, give likes and press the bell icon on the screen and don't forget to share it along with your friends. Okay class, let us start the video. Students, I think you all have seen the cricket ball, football and sometimes you play with them also. I want to know, do you know what is inside the cricket ball? Any students can guess?
Yes, sir. Jute.
Very good answer. Jute or maybe the leather. And what is inside the football?
Sir, air.
Very good. Now, can you tell me what is found inside the earth?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. Today I will tell you what is inside the earth. First, look at the diagram of the internal structure of the earth. It is showing the layers of the earth. Its first layer is crust. It is the thinnest of all the layers. It is around 35 kilometer thick in the landmass and just 5 to 10 kilometer thick under the oceans. The main constituents of the continental mass are silica and alumina. It is therefore called Sial because Si is taken from silica and Al from alumina. The oceanic crust is made of silica and magnesium because it gets its name Si from silica and Ma from magnesium. A second layer is mantle. It is about 2900 kilometer thick. The upper part of mantle is made up of viscous material that comes out from volcano as lava during eruption. It is plastic like layer. Do you know what is the meaning of viscous? Viscous material means having a thick sticky consistency between the solid and the liquid. So such type of material is just like plastic. The inner mantle is more brittle and solid. Now the next layer is core. It is estimated to be about 3500 kilometer in radius. It is divided in two parts, the inner core and the outer core. The inner core is solid and mainly made of iron. Outer core is in liquid and constitutes iron and nickel. It is also called Ni. Ni is taken from nickel and Fe from ferrous, or you can say iron. Now let us know about tectonic plates. The Earth's crust does not exist in form of a continuous single surface. It has fractured and consists of rock plates that floats like icebergs or rafts on the upper mantle. These are tectonic plates which are in constant motion, and each plate may have continents and ocean basins. Now I am showing you the flow chart of earth movements. Earth movements we can classify in mainly in two parts: endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Endogenic forces takes place inside the earth's surface, and exogenic forces takes place over the earth's surfaces. Endogenic forces, you can say, just like sudden forces, maybe earthquake, volcano, landslides. And it is also, you can say, endogenic forces we can also divide in two parts: sudden forces as well as diastrophic forces. Diastrophic forces means, just for example, building mountains. What is diastrophic forces? It means forces generated by the movement of the solid material of earth crust. Exogenic forces we are not covering in this chapter, so we will explain later on. Now we will know about the earthquake. Earthquakes occur in the outer brittle portions of the tectonic plates, where temperature in the rocks lower than deep inside the earth. The point of origin of the earthquake is called the focus or hypocenter. The point on the earth's surface directly above the focus is called epicenter. It is measured by the Richter magnitude scale that was invented by Charles Francis Richter. Who invented this Richter scale? Charles Francis Richter. Don't forget it, because I will ask you questions also in last slide. Now we know about the volcano. A volcano is a vent or opening in the earth's crust through which molten rocks and magma comes out and spread out on earth's surface as lava. When it cools down, it is converted into igneous rocks. Now look at the volcano's parts and try to understand. Crater. It is a funnel shaped basin around a vent. You can see here vent also, through which molten rocks or magma comes out. Next you can see fissure. These are the cracks in volcano. Sometime lava comes out from here also. Magma. It is molten rock or magma. It is found inside the crust. And lava layers, that is, you can say, when the lava is collected at one place as layers. There are three types of volcanoes. Number one, active volcanoes. Active means those who are working, means they are erupting at present. For example, Barren Island in India. Dormant volcanoes. Volcanoes which had not erupted for a long time. For example, Mount Vesuvius in Italy. And number 3, extinct volcanoes, which have not erupted till now. They are also called dead volcanoes. For example, Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Now look at the rocks. Rocks are having 3 types. Number 1, igneous rocks. Those rocks are also called primary rocks. These are formed when molten magma cools and turns into solid rocks. These rocks are further divided in 2 parts: volcanic or extrusive rocks, example basalt, and number 2, plutonic rocks are intrusive rocks, for example granite. Number 2, you can see on the screen sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are broken down by the process of weathering and erosion. These smaller pieces and particles get transported by winds and water and collect at places in form of sediments. Slowly, they get compressed by their own weight and converted into sedimentary rocks. For example, sandstone, mudstone. Metamorphic rocks. Number 3, metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks are igneous as well as sedimentary also. When they subjected to immense heat and pressure, undergo changes in their appearance. For instance, limestone would be changed in marble and granite would change into gneiss. Rock cycle. Rock cycle is the process of transformation of one rock form to another. It is a fundamental concept of geology that describes the changes among the 3 main rock types: sedimentary, metamorphic, and igneous rocks. Now look at the diagram of rocks. First look at the igneous rocks. Igneous rocks are formed by the cooling of molten magma which comes out through volcanoes. Then after, the various agents of weathering like temperatures, fluctuations, the flow of wind and water, action of plants and animals, and erosion of rocks, these things keep breaking and cracking these rocks. These broken pieces of rocks, which may be as small as pebbles and fine sand, keeps shifting and get moved slowly by natural transportation in basins and lower regions, and they form as sedimentary rocks. The layers keeping forming over the sedimentary rocks, and those which get buried deeper again get subjected again to pressure and heat of the earth, and their state is going to be changed. Now the metamorphic rocks again melt due to the heat and pressure inside the earth and mix into the existing magma inside the earth, and thus the cycle continues. Okay class, now is the time of questions. As I told you in the beginning of the video, So I am giving you some questions. You have to write down their answers. So my first question is, which rocks are called primary rocks? Number 2, what is the thickness of the mantle? What is the number 3? What is the other name of Earth's crust? You all will get the answers in the video only. Number 4 is define Sima and Sial. Number 5, what is a rock cycle? Number 6, what is the use of Richter scale? And my last question is, list the 3 types of volcanoes with examples. Okay students, thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and share it.